Seneca once illuminated our minds with the insight that true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This notion isn't just about finding joy in the now, it's about wielding the present as a tool to build respect, character, and inner strength. We are embarking on a journey to unearth these Stoic strategies, the unsung tactics that can elevate our conduct, shape our character, and bring us into alignment with the respect we seek from others as well as the respect we bestow upon ourselves. So let us delve into the depths of Stoic wisdom together, uncovering the 7 psychological strategies that hold the key to a life of respect and virtue. Prepare to explore how the ancient can inform the present and how the echoes of Stoic thought can resonate in our modern lives. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked the video so that you can help me continue spreading the Stoic philosophy. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you to subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any video. Strategy number 1, Mastery over Perception. The ancient Stoics understood that life's essence isn't shaped by what happens to us but by the color of the glasses we choose to view those happenings through. This isn't about painting over the ugly parts of life with a cheerful hue, rather, it's recognizing that every event is like a raw stone. We can either see it as a mere rock or the potential diamond it could become. Picture yourself giving a presentation at work. You've pored over the details, practiced your delivery, and yet when the moment comes, the technology fails, the slides won't progress, and the videos don't play. There you stand before your colleagues and superiors, the air heavy with expectation. In this crucible, your perception is the alchemist's tool. Do you see this as a personal disaster, an embarrassment that will define your career? Or do you perceive it as a pivotal moment to showcase your ability to adapt and communicate under pressure? By choosing the latter, you take a breath and perhaps even share a light-hearted comment about the reliability of technology that draws a knowing chuckle from the room. Then you proceed to deliver your presentation without the slides, engaging more directly and humanly. You're not ignoring the mishap, you're transcending it. Afterwards, people remember how you handled the situation with grace and poise. They respect you not for your flawless presentation but for your remarkable response to imperfection. This is mastery over perception and action. It's the transformative process that turns stumbling blocks into stepping stones. It's not about denying the negative but about leveraging it as a catalyst for personal excellence. By applying this strategy in various facets of life, you craft a reputation not as a person who never faces challenges but as one who stands unwavering in their midst. This doesn't go unnoticed. It's this unspoken confidence, this mastery, that naturally earns you respect. Embrace this principle, and you will become a beacon of resilience admired and trusted not for the absence of problems in your life but for the sheer tenacity and ingenuity with which you navigate them. This is the power of perception, a Stoic's tool as vital today as it was in the marbled forums of ancient Greece. Strategy number 2, Embracing Control and Choice. In our journey through the Stoic lens, we arrive at a crossroads of control and choice. The Stoic teacher Epictetus famously stated, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." These words aren't just a call to action, they're an invitation to freedom. To embrace control and choice is to recognize that while the world spins on its own axis, our reactions are ours to command. Let's unpack this with an example that resonates with many of us. You receive unexpected feedback from your manager that is less than complimentary. It's in this moment, this crucible of challenge, that Stoic wisdom illuminates your path. You can't control the feedback, nor can you undo it. But within you lies the tremendous power to choose your response. The knee-jerk reaction is defensiveness, a retort, or internal turmoil. But Stoicism invites us to choose differently. Perhaps in that moment, you decide to listen, truly listen. You allow each word to settle not as an indictment of failure but as a guidepost for growth. You ask clarifying questions, seek to understand, and then you make a choice. A choice to use this feedback as the raw material from which to sculpt a better, stronger version of your professional self. This choice is noted by those around you. You're not just another employee, you become the embodiment of maturity and proactivity. This is what people respect, not a faultless record but the fortitude to rise above faults and use them as the forge for betterment. When you take this principle into the broader strokes of life, it's transformative. You're in traffic, and you're late. You can't control the red lights or the pace of the cars in front of you, but you can control the rising tide of frustration. So you choose. You select a podcast, an audiobook, or perhaps use the time to mentally rehearse your day ahead. You arrive not with a heart pounding from stress but with a mind enriched or prepared. This is the power of choice. It's in these choices, the ones made quietly without fanfare, that respect is born. People see a person who is not at the mercy of life's unpredictable winds but one who sets their sails deliberately, who uses those winds to journey where they wish to go. This is not a skill one is born with, it is developed, honed with each trial. And it's this skill that garners true respect. So when life throws its inevitable curveballs, remember Epictetus's words. Remember that control and choice are your inherent Stoic powers. They are the quiet force that can weather any storm, not by force but by the sheer elegance of intention and will. This is what it means to live as a Stoic, and it is this living that naturally commands the respect of those who witness it. Strategy number 3, integrity in action. Integrity in action is the lifeblood of Stoicism, giving vitality to the philosophy's core tenet that virtue alone suffices for happiness. This Stoic virtue is not an abstract ideal but a robust living force that shapes every aspect of a Stoic life. It is in the mundane choices and the extraordinary decisions where integrity in action emerges as the hallmark of a life lived in accordance with reason and virtue. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it, taught Epictetus, a directive that calls for a manifestation of one's values in the fullest sense, not just in thought but in every act and reaction. Within the intricacies of day-to-day interactions, integrity in action manifests itself in countless ways. In the world of business, it might be seen in the refusal to partake in petty office politics or to engage in gossip. It's the employee who, when facing a conflict of interest, discloses it despite the potential for personal loss. It's the manager who gives credit where credit is due, even when they could easily accept praise for a subordinate's work. In such moments, the Stoics' actions are guided by an internal compass calibrated to integrity. They are mindful that every decision is a testament to character, and every action a chapter in their life story written for an audience of one, their own self. As Marcus Aurelius mused in his Meditations, the true worth of a person is to be found in their actions and not in the realm of external things. Living with integrity means that a Stoic must often swim against the current of popular opinion or short-term gain. It involves making choices that align with virtue even when these choices are uncomfortable or bring them into solitude or criticism. Stoics recognize that integrity often requires sacrifice, and they are willing to bear these costs not for some external reward but because they value their self-respect above all else. Moreover, integrity in action is about resilience in the face of adversity. It's about maintaining a moral stance even when the world seems to conspire against it. In situations where dishonesty seems to flourish and shortcuts appear to lead to success, the Stoic stands firm. They understand, as Seneca wrote, that a person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value. And what is the reward for such unwavering commitment to integrity? It is respect, the kind that is earned, not demanded, felt, not feigned. This respect is a reflection of the true nature of one's character, unshakable and unquestioned. For in a society often fixated on the end justifying the means, the Stoics' means are their end. Integrity is both the path and the destination. Thus, integrity in action is not just a Stoic principle to be discussed, it is a way of being to be lived. It transcends the pages of ancient texts and becomes the script by which a Stoic structures their life. It is ultimately the purest form of respect one can ever hope to achieve, the respect that comes from a life lived in unwavering accord with one's deepest convictions, principles, and Stoic virtues. Strategy number 4, cultivating empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, is not immediately recognizable as a Stoic virtue. Yet, the Stoics deeply understood the value of empathy as a means of connecting with the human community and practicing the virtue of justice. Kindness is mankind's greatest delight, said the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, highlighting that the capacity to empathize is not just a passive feeling but an active engagement in the well-being of others. Empathy in Stoicism is the recognition that all humans are fallible, struggling, and capable of error, yet deserving of understanding and compassion. This cultivation of empathy does not imply emotional indulgence but a rational acknowledgement of the commonalities that bind us in the human experience. It's found in the patience we show to a new colleague struggling to learn the ropes or in the understanding we extend to a friend overwhelmed by grief. Consider the leader who takes the time to understand the unique challenges faced by each team member. This leader is not merely managing but leading with empathy, demonstrating an awareness that each person's experience contributes to the fabric of the whole. Through empathy, this leader can navigate the team's dynamic, align their strengths, and address their challenges, thus steering the ship with a keen eye on the horizon and a compassionate hand on the helm. Cultivating empathy also involves a more profound engagement with the community. It's the entrepreneur who designs solutions not just for profit but to address societal needs, understanding that their true value lies in the benefit they bring to others. It is the citizen who listens with an open mind to the viewpoints of others, recognizing that beneath differing opinions and beliefs lie common fears and hopes. Stoicism teaches that empathy should be guided by wisdom. It is not about taking on the emotional burdens of others but about offering the right measure of support and understanding to foster growth and resilience. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness, said Seneca. It is a reminder that empathy is a resource available to us at all times, an opportunity that presents itself in every interaction. By practicing empathy, Stoics forge deeper connections and contribute to a society based on mutual respect and understanding. Empathy can bridge divides, heal wounds, and build trust. It's a testament to the recognition that while we may travel our paths, we share the same road under the same stars and are made of the same stardust. Thus, cultivating empathy is to recognize the reflections of ourselves and others and act upon this recognition with kindness and justice. It's about expanding our circle of concern and understanding that each act of empathy sows seeds for a more compassionate and harmonious world. As we practice empathy, we not only elevate others but also elevate ourselves, aligning our actions with the Stoic ideal that the good of the individual and the good of the community are inextricably linked. Strategy number 5, the elegance of simplicity. The elegance of simplicity, a core concept in Stoicism, extols the virtue of living a life unburdened by superfluous excess and unswayed by the siren calls of consumerism. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, Epicurus advised. This counsel is not a mandate for austerity but an invitation to find richness in the understated and fulfillment in the essentials. In the embrace of simplicity, there is a rejection of the clutter that so often dominates our physical spaces and mental landscapes. It's the choice to value quality over quantity, to seek experiences that enrich the soul rather than possessions that fill the home. Simplicity finds expression in the minimalist's approach to life, where every object is chosen with intention and every activity is imbued with meaning. Imagine applying this principle to daily living. It could mean decluttering your workspace, creating an environment where focus flourishes. In personal finance, it may manifest as a budget that prioritizes experiences and well-being over material accumulation. In relationships, the elegance of simplicity encourages us to invest in deeper connections with fewer people rather than spreading ourselves thin over many surface-level engagements. The Stoic finds beauty and simplicity not only in their surroundings but also in their actions and thoughts. It's a conscious decision to streamline life's complexities, to cut through the noise, and to focus on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius once mused, "Very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This insight calls for an internal simplification, a purification of desires, and an anchoring of contentment and self-sufficiency in reason. Choice, simplicity, and stoicism are also tools for resilience in the face of life's inevitable upheavals. The individual who has cultivated a simple, straightforward, and unpretentious life is better poised to adapt. They carry their tranquility within, unshaken by external shifts because their happiness is not tied to the impermanent and the external but to the stable and the internal. To live simply is to strip away the non-essential so that the essential may speak. It is to practice restraint in a world of excess and to find peace in an age of distraction. The elegance of simplicity is the art of paring down to the core of what brings joy, clarity, and purpose. It is the Stoic realization that in the tapestry of life, the most impactful threads are often those woven with the simplest patterns.